Okay, so in this LinkedIn session for accountants, we're going to be looking at LinkedIn for business development. So, a massive underutilized section of LinkedIn. It's so powerful. How many of you are sitting there with paid for premium accounts that you're actually not using when you can still do this LinkedIn for business development aspect for free with a free account? So, helpfully, LinkedIn have made it a little bit harder for you to find it. So, I'm going to run you through the steps now. So you can hopefully see my screen. It's LinkedIn, the LinkedIn homepage. So if you click on My Network, then you click on Connections, then you've got a hyperlink here called Search with Filters. So click on Search with Filters, and this is bringing up all my connections. And then in the top bar here, it's giving me the opportunity to filter those connections. But what I can also do is stop it being about my connections. So if we click on All Filters, you'll see it brings up this box on the right hand side. So I'm going to untick first connections because we're not interested at this moment in time in who we're already connected to. So let's say I'm looking for financial advisors to connect with in London, for argument's sake. So I've checked London and then I've checked financial services under industry. Job title, let's say they're going to be a director of their financial business. Show results. We might need to change that to financial advisor, but we can have a look in a minute, see what we've got. So LinkedIn has looked through my connections. So if when you do this search, it'll be slightly different because it's based on who you already know initially in terms of who it brings up. So LinkedIn has brought me up 29,000 results. Now remember, these are individual people. This isn't like looking in yellow pages. It's giving you really powerful information. So I could scroll through this list and say, okay, Joe, we've got some connections in common. So I'm going to click on Joe. He's foreign exchange rather than a financial advisor, but if that was still of interest to me, I'm going to click connect. I'm going to add a note. So important to add a note. Just explain why you want to connect with Joe, whatever that might be. So, Joe, I'm looking for someone in FX at the moment, or I'm trying to grow my connections in the financial services industry, whatever it might be. Because whatever you put in there, it then gives you that opportunity to follow up. So, if, for example, I put in there, Joe, I'm looking to expand my connections in the FX sector, please can we link in? And he says yes, because he accepts it. I've then got the opportunity to pick up the phone to him because he's effectively saying he's happy to connect and engage with me. So let's just stop that. I'm obviously not going to actually send it to him. So that is how you can use LinkedIn for business development. I'm just going to show you another way. Again, let's look at a- let's look at financial advisors. So there is a firm we work with called Tarvos Wealth. So I'm just going to view this as a member. So I've looked at Tarvos's wealth page, and if I want to know who works there, I can simply click on the name, the who works there, and it will bring up everybody that is on LinkedIn that is employed at Tarvos Wealth. So this is a really good way of starting to build a picture up of who's at the business, who the decision makers are at the business. And again, if you want to drill down even further, if it were a bigger company than Tarvos, for example, with hundreds of staff, and I wanted to see, obviously for me, I want to know if they've got in-house marketing. So one of my filters, when I click on all filters, can be down here in the job title page, I could put marketing. And then when I do that search, it will bring up if there's a marketing person employed there. So, a really useful way of using LinkedIn for business development. Just want to show you the filters once more, just so you make sure you've got this kind of in your head. So, in all filters, you may want to make sure you're not looking at your first connections. In locations, you can add a location. So if your location doesn't come up here, you can add one. The one thing I will say, and we can try it now because it tends to be temperamental as to whether it works or not, is some towns, so we're based in Worthing, quite a small town in Sussex, sometimes it doesn't bring up the results for you. We're not looking at Tarvos Wealth now. Let's say we're looking at financial services still, and I'm not going to add a job title. So this should be bringing up people that are based in Worthing for me that are in financial services. And as I mentioned, Worthing's quite a small area, so it's gone further than that. As you can see, it's gone to the greater Brighton and Hove area. We've still got some in Worthing. So it also depends what the person's put down as their location, because Salvington's part of Worthing, as is Broadwater. So it's a super useful way for you to filter LinkedIn, look at who you don't know, and a brilliant way for you to grow your connection. So I'm just going to run through it one final time for you. So you're going to go into My Network, Connections, Search with Filters, All Filters. And then you've got this great box here to allow you to tailor what you're looking for. So great to speak to you all again today. Hopefully, you're finding your feet with LinkedIn and getting you to grips with it. If I can help you with anything specifically, as I mentioned in the last video, just drop myself a line. Let me know what it is you want to understand about LinkedIn, what it is you're struggling with, or what we can help you with. And I'm very happy to tailor a video just for you. We've seen some interesting polls on LinkedIn recently. We talked about polls in the last video, about whether you need paid for LinkedIn. Obviously, I started this training session today talking about paid for LinkedIn. You really don't need it. The thing to caveat this with is if you're going to start using it for business development, LinkedIn will only allow you a certain number of connection requests per month. I use this every day, day in, day out, and very rarely hit my maximum. So I don't think you're going to experience that problem. But if you do, it's probably worth paying the £50 a month for the premium version. But again, really happy to talk to people on a one-to-one basis about this. I hope you found today's sessions useful. If there's anything more I can help you with, do get in touch. And our next video will be out next week, helping you on that continuing LinkedIn journey.